Hello again, YouTube. Today you find me by my wardrobes because I have been refashioning and clearing out and reworking and reusing and hacking lots of clothes, whatever you want to call it. So let me show you. Yesterday I spent half the day basically taking all of my clothes out of the wardrobe, and I only put about half of them back. I'm going to turn you around and show you how many coat hangers I have. There's a cat. So here are all the coat hangers. All the coat hangers. There are all the coat hangers that I have cleared out because the items that were on those coat hangers no longer live in my wardrobe, no longer live in this house. And there are 48. And oh, that feels good. But there were some items that I still liked, but I didn't like in the form that they were. So just before I show you that, I'm going to show you in here. Don't know how well you're going to see. Top part is of total irrelevance because that's not my section of the wardrobe. So these are my tops, and what I dealt with yesterday was tops. And yesterday, before I'd cleared stuff out, what you would have found if you'd come to try and put something in my wardrobe, you would have found that I would have said, thank you very much for tidying up my clothes. But what you would have also found is that literally they were so jammed together that I couldn't get things in. So now it still looks full, doesn't it? But honestly, there is about half what there was there. I keep my dresses somewhere else, and I did also clear out the dresses. So there is the wardrobe. And what you can see, and I'm sure what is a very unflattering angle, I don't know. This top, for example, was a tunic. So yesterday it was this level, and I had another top that was like that. So what I'm going to cut to now is showing you exactly what I did to these tops. Very simple. And then when I had finished unpicking the various parts of the sweater, I then tried the sweater on, pinned where I was happy with the bottom of it being, and then re-sewed the bottom band on. I'll cut now to show you a picture of me out on a sunny walk yesterday. I couldn't have one of those today because it's really rainy and snowy. But having a sunny walk yesterday where I was wearing my new red and cream striped top. Hello, we've come downstairs. I'm still wearing this top and I'll show you it once again. There you go. So this started basically mid-thigh length. I've had this top a long time. I wore it as a maternity top, but I like stripy tops. But I didn't really like the length anymore. I think possibly my hips and bottom are a little bit bigger than they were once upon a time. And I don't find it as flattering. It's too tight over that area. So I basically cut the bottom band off. I didn't unpick in this instance because the bottom band was quite thick and I was quite happy to lose a little bit of the depth of that band. So this band here, that bit. It was quite a deep band, so because I was being lazy, I just cut that off, tried the top on, pinned where I wanted the eventual depth to be, and sewed it back on with my overlocker. Job finished, new top, everyone's happy. So there are two other things that I have, well, three actually. Three other things that I've kept, but I don't want to keep them in the form that they're in at the moment. So the first thing is the dress. Ooh, where's my finger going to go? There. Can you see that hung up behind me? I'll just go and get that to show you. Actually, I think I'm counting up now and there's 6 things. Anyway, I'll show you this dress. So this is a Ted Baker dress. It's lovely. It's halter neck, so when you wear it, it's halter neck like that, and it's got a handkerchief hem. But for me, there's two things wrong with it. First is that there are, in the underarm area that goes here, there are basically the sweat stains and they're not washing out. They're not that visible, but I know from when I wear it on a hot summer's day, and it's a summery dress definitely, it does get a bit sweaty under there. But the second thing, which is more important, is it doesn't fit. The top part of the bodice is just a little bit too tight, which is partly why I get the problem with it being too snug under my arms, and then you get sweat marks. But it's 100% silk, so it's beautiful, and it says dry clean only on it, but I've washed it in the machine and it's come out fine, so it's also machine washable. So I'm going to be pondering on this. I'm going to consider it fabric to use. There's a fair amount in the skirt. I haven't got any fixed plans, so it's either going to be a camisole, a scarf, or I might get a sleeveless shirt out of it. But that's a fairly long-term plan, but that's something, I like it too much to give it away or to sell it, but it's not really good enough in the form that it's in the brutal and ruthless mood I was in yesterday. So second thing is this top, which, well, it's not a top, is it? It's a tunic. And I found that I liked it when I bought it. I've had it maybe 3 years, but when I tried it on yesterday, I just didn't like the shape of it over my hips. So my plan with this one is basically, you can see I've tried it on already, lift it up. There is a line of pins here, and that line of pins is at approximate hip level because I'm going to cut it off and make it a blouse, because I like the top part of it. I like all this pleating. I love the colour, and I don't have a lot of blouses in my wardrobe, because I didn't say at the start, but really the reason why I'm clearing out is because I want to be more deliberate in what I'm sewing. So I felt, partly there was the practical issue that I showed you upstairs, that I literally could not fit anything more in my wardrobe, and that tells you something. But I also knew there was a lot in there that I wasn't wearing. So that problem is now solved, and I also have a much better view of what's in there, what I maybe don't have, what I have a lot of, you know, that kind of analysis. So this is going to be a blouse, because what I don't have a lot of is blouses. And if I did have a sewing plan, which I don't have for various reasons, blouses would definitely be written front and centre on that. And how I'm going to treat the hem is I'm going to hand sew it, because I like a bit of hand sewing. I did consider, the original hem is faced, so it's not folded under, but there's actually a seam there, can you see? And it's very deep. And I did consider whether to mimic that on the blouse. But at this point, I have decided not to do that, because I think it'll be too heavy for the hem of a blouse, but I might change my mind, we'll see. I'll try and remember to show you the results of that in a future video. So the other three things, I keep losing count. There's 3 other things I want to talk to you about. So here's one. So the thing about this top, the reason why it's not staying in the wardrobe is it's got a stain on it. But I really like, whoop, the light went weird. I really like the shape. It has a band at the bottom. It is a fold there, that's all caught into the band, which in the way that this is constructed, I think it was knit, well, the back piece was certainly knitted as a whole. And then I like the sleeve, so it is kind of 3/4 length, but it's got this open, so it's folded at the top there. It does actually have a seam down there, probably because that was more efficient in the factory, but I like that. I really like this shape. So I'm going to try with this one something I haven't tried before, which is taking a piece of clothing apart to make a pattern from it, to make a new thing. So again, it's a fairly medium-term plan, because I don't think I've got any fabric in my stash off the top of my head that I would want to do this with. but I do really like this top, and so I don't forget it, I'm going to keep the top in my sewing room for now. I might even put it on my fabric shelves, there, and then I can bear in mind that I have this shape, because it's an unusual shape to me. It's not one that I see, not that I go to the shops. I keep mentioning I don't go to the shops, but it's not one that I'm familiar with seeing a lot of. Okay, so the other things, hang on. The final things, it's 2 cotton shirts. One of them, I'll put a picture, image up here. It's a Bowden shirt. It is a green spot. It's a really nice print, and I put it on and I stared at myself for ages thinking, I don't know. And the green is just not right on me. It's a slightly dirty green, and I just didn't like that shade, and I haven't worn it a lot, even though I always look at it in the wardrobe and think I like that, but I'm never inspired to put it on, and I think it's the colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dye it, which I will show you in a moment. And I have this shirt as well, which is a sort of a it's been washed, blue and white stripe. It's got patches on the elbow, and I wore this loads last summer, and I took it to America, and what's happened to it, I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but basically it's got yellow staining down here, which is from sun cream, or possibly fake tan, but I think it's from sun cream, and it won't wash out. I tried yesterday with really strong stain remover and a really hot wash. It's not coming out. So I'm going to try dyeing it as well, because it fits quite nicely, and it's a cotton shirt. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not worn other than that. So I'm going to try dyeing this one as well. So let's cut to the kitchen where I'll show you the dyeing. Actually, wait. Hold on a second. I decided that it was better to split this video into 2. So you need to head on over. I'll put a link somewhere on here, and there'll be a link at the end of the video to part 2 where I do the fabric dyeing, and we are in my kitchen. So thank you very much for watching. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and I would also love it if you would comment, and I would also love it if you would click the little bell button to get notifications when I put new videos up. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in just a few seconds, I hope, in part 2.